By now you've seen the pattern. We asked if Batman could exist in 2026. We tested strength, we tested money, we tested influence, and every time something broke. Not because people weren't capable, but because Batman was never about one trait. He was built on standards. So this video isn't about fantasy. It's about cost. There are 12 standards here, not by accident, because a year has 12 months. And if you were serious in 2026, this is how long it would take to even begin. Let's start. First things first, physical capability. The first thing people think Batman is muscular. That's not the point. Batman isn't built to be admired. He's built to function. In 2026, looking fit is easy. Anyone can chase aesthetics. Lighting, angles, photos. Batman's body isn't decoration, it's a tool. It has to work when tired, when injured, when conditions aren't ideal. In the comics, Batman benches more than twice his body weight. Yes, that's exaggerated, but the exaggeration points to a standard. In reality, benching your own body weight isn't impressive. It's the bare minimum. It's the entry requirement. If you can't move your own mass, if you can't generate reliable strength, you're not even at the starting line. That's why body control matters. So what in 2026 will help your physical capabilities get closer to Batman? Calisthenics, carrying your own weight, strength training, balance, wall climbing, coordination, being extremely good with at least one form of martial arts. Batman's strength isn't about numbers. It's about dependability when fatigue hits. If your body fails under stress, nothing else on this list matters. Next comes a solid standard, voluntary hardship. Batman doesn't wait for life to harden him. He chooses hardship, cold, fatigue, repetition, pain, not because it looks impressive, but because comfort weakens judgment. In Batman, Year 1, Bruce trains alone, no audience, no praise. He breaks down early, gets injured, and keeps going anyway. That's the pattern. Batman exposes himself to stress, so stress doesn't make decisions for him. In 2026, everything is designed to remove friction. Temperature is controlled, food is instant, discomfort is optional. That sounds like progress. It isn't. Comfort trains avoidance. It teaches you to quit the moment resistance appears. Batman does the opposite. He introduces difficulty on purpose, so chaos feels familiar, so pressure doesn't hijack him. This isn't about suffering for aesthetics. It's about reliability. If you only function when conditions are perfect, you're already compromised. Voluntary hardship isn't punishment, it's preparation. Standard 3 is something essential for everybody today: emotional control. Batman feels everything: rage, grief, loss. He just refuses to spill it. That restraint is the weapon. Let's be honest, a lot of us love Batman more than Superman, though he's just a mere human. In fact, we relate ourselves to him. That's because we know, literally everyone tried to break him in his life. Mind, senses, spirit, hope, body, heart. But he kept coming back. He kept rising from the bottom. That sheer will of rising from ashes like a phoenix requires emotional stability. In The Killing Joke, the Joker doesn't try to defeat Batman physically. He tries to break him. Emotionally, psychologically. Because chaos doesn't need you to fall. It just needs you to react. Batman doesn't. He doesn't snap. He doesn't scream. He doesn't give the moment what it wants, or does he? We see that even in The Dark Knight as well. In 2026, emotion is currency. Outrage is farmed. Fear is engineered. Reaction is rewarded. The second you lose emotional control, you become readable, predictable, steerable. Batman shuts that door. He slows the moment down. He chooses restraint over release. This isn't coldness, it's precision under fire. Because once emotion takes the wheel, you're no longer in control. You're being driven. If emotion decides your moves, someone else already owns you. Standard 4, silence is power. The discipline of not speaking. Batman doesn't explain himself. He doesn't justify. He doesn't narrate his intentions. He lets outcomes speak. We have seen this in Justice League. Batman talks the least, yet he prepares for everyone. Contingencies for gods. Without announcements, without speeches. In Batman, hush His silence keeps him dangerous. Enemies guess. They miscalculate because they don't have enough information. In 2026, everyone is talking. Posting, explaining, defending. Silence feels uncomfortable now. That's why it works. The less you say, the harder you are to read, the harder you are to control. Batman doesn't use silence to intimidate. He uses it to stay free. If you feel the urge to explain yourself, you're already reacting. Silence isn't weakness, it's leverage. Standard 5, low visibility, or simply as operating without being seen. Batman cannot exist in full view. The moment everyone knows where you are, what you think, what you stand for, your movement collapses. In Batman Begins, Bruce learns this the hard way. To become a symbol, he's told, you must be something more and something less. He erases himself, so the mission survives. In The Dark Knight, Batman avoids cameras, avoids praise, because visibility limits options. In 2026, visibility is currency. Attention is leverage. Exposure is permanent. The more visible you are, the more predictable you become. Batman avoids exposure not to hide, but to stay mobile. That's why none of the known billionaires qualify as Batman. We had this discussion in the other videos. If everyone is watching you, you're already compromised. Anonymity isn't paranoia. It's freedom of movement. Standard 6. This one is a superpower. Financial independence. Batman isn't rich to flex. He's rich so no one can tell him what to do. The famous billionaire Bruce Wayne funds everything himself. No sponsors, no approvals, no board meetings deciding his morality. He buys access, technology, infrastructure, freedom of movement. Money in 2026 is a superpower not because it just buys you things that you dreamt of owning, but because it buys you time, freedom, and yes, health. Imagine when money can help you improve the life expectancy and living standards of your loved ones. I'm not telling you to become a billionaire right away, but as a man, one has to do their best to own assets that can buy freedom. It can be land, gold, or even crypto. Doesn't matter. In 2026, debt replaced prison. Monthly payments replaced chains. If your lifestyle owns you, you don't get to make brave decisions. If losing income terrifies you, you won't stand against anything. For an instance, Bruce did become bankrupt at some time, but he made a comeback. It doesn't matter from where you start, but what it matters is your destiny. Batman can act because he is unowned. Can you? Standard 7. Information discipline. Batman isn't just a fighter. He's the world's greatest detective. He wins because he knows more. He studies patterns. He connects dots. He sees what others miss. In Gotham, the loudest story is rarely the true one. Batman doesn't chase noise. He hunts truth. In 2026, information is the battlefield. Not fists, not bullets, information. Knowledge is power. Not the quote, the reality. The person who understands more moves first, moves cleaner, moves with advantage. But most people don't investigate. They scroll, they skim, they react. Your feed decides what you see, and what you see decides what you think. If you don't discipline what enters your mind, you don't own your mind. Batman solves before he strikes. He studies before he moves. You can't defeat chaos if you're addicted to noise. Guard your inputs. Question your sources. Think before you echo. A person with knowledge, discipline, and wit can survive anywhere in the world he's thrown into. Knowledge is power, but only if you earn it. Standard 8. Strategic patience. Batman didn't appear overnight. Before Gotham ever saw him, he disappeared. Years in the League of Shadows, cold mountains, brutal training, silence. He didn't rush into the mask. He became worthy of it first. That's patience. Not waiting, becoming. In 2026, men want visibility before preparation, results before discipline, status before skill. Batman did the opposite. He built in the dark. For years, strategic patience isn't passive. It's invisible growth. He let others underestimate him. He let time sharpen him. Most men quit in the quiet phase because no one is watching. Can you train when there's no applause? Can you prepare without announcing? Patience isn't weakness. It's controlled momentum. Standard 9, moral code. The line you refuse to cross. Batman doesn't use guns, not because he can't, because he won't. In The Dark Knight Rises, Selina mocks him. You don't really think that'll keep you safe? She doesn't understand. It's not about safety. It's about principle. He draws a line, and he refuses to step over it. He could kill. He doesn't. That line is what separates him from the criminals he fights. In 2026, morals are flexible. Ethics are situational. Principles are negotiable. But a man without a code is just a weapon. And a weapon without restraint eventually turns on everything. A moral code isn't weakness. It's structure. It's self-governance. Power without ethics is chaos. Batman doesn't hold power because he's strong. He holds it because he controls it. As a man, what line will you never cross? Standard 10, responsibility without recognition. Ask yourself something. Have you ever helped someone without expecting anything in return? Have you bought food to the old granny sitting beside the store outside when you're out there to buy groceries without telling anyone? Have you done something good that no one ever found out about? There's a saying, let not your left hand know what your right hand is doing. That's not about secrecy. It's about purity of intention. Batman lives that. In The Dark Knight, he takes the blame for Harvey Dent. He lets the city hate him. So Gotham keeps its hope. He becomes the villain. So the symbol survives. That's what a hero's about. No applause, no explanation, no credit. And in The Dark Knight Rises, he flies the nuclear bomb out over the ocean. Alone. No guarantee he'll return. Nobody would ever know who saved Gotham. That's responsibility. Not the kind that gets likes. The kind that costs. In 2026, everything is performed. Good deeds are content. Generosity is documented. Discipline is announced. If it isn't posted, did it even happen? Batman doesn't need recognition. He needs the mission completed. Can you do the right thing? Even if no one ever thanks you? Can you sacrifice reputation for something bigger than ego? Because once you require validation, you stop serving the mission. You start serving yourself. Standard 11, psychological independence. Let's be honest. How much of what you do is actually yours? Your opinions, your outrage, your confidence, your identity. How much of it survives? If no one claps? Let's be fair. You can't control the weather. You can't control other people's opinions. The only thing you can actually control in this world is your mind, and your mind alone. Because the right mindset brings out the right actions. Batman doesn't check reactions. He doesn't refresh for validation. He doesn't adjust himself to stay liked. In 2026, identity is crowdsourced. Confidence is curated. Self-worth is measured in numbers, followers, views, approval. You call it connection. It's dependency. If you need agreement to stay steady, you're programmable. If criticism destabilizes you, you're fragile. Batman operates alone because he answers to something internal. A code, a mission, a standard. What do you answer to? Your feed? Your circle? Your ego? Psychological independence means you don't move with the crowd. You move with conviction. Can you stand firm without applause? Standard 12, acceptance of loneliness. This is where most of you drop. Not at strength, not at money, not at discipline. Here, Batman is alone. Not because he can't connect, because the mission isolates him. He watches from rooftops. He disappears before sunrise. He carries weight no one sees. Ask yourselves, have you ever got out to a new city or new country or done a solo trip confidently? This is not about trying to be lonely. It's about acceptance and doing things alone. Stuff alone that matters irregardless of who supports you or how you feel. Train alone, work alone, build alone. In 2026, loneliness is treated like a disease. Silence feels like failure. Being alone feels like weakness. So you fill it with noise, with distraction, with constant company. But if you can't sit alone with your thoughts, you don't have control. You have avoidance. Batman accepts that the path costs connection, costs misunderstanding, costs comfort. He protects a city that fears him. He sacrifices a life he could have had. If you can't stand alone, you can't stand for anything. And that's the part no one wants. Strength is attractive. Money's attractive. Power is attractive. Loneliness isn't. That's why almost no one qualifies. 12 standards. Not fantasy, not costume. Strength, patience, information discipline, moral boundaries, responsibility without applause, independence, silence, loneliness. You don't adopt all 12 overnight. You start with one. Fix your body, control your inputs, draw a line you won't cross. Do one good thing without telling anyone. Build quietly. Stay disciplined. Stop announcing. Batman isn't built in public. He's built in private. And if you commit to even 3 of these, you're already ahead of most. The mask isn't the goal. The standard is. The real question was never, can you be Batman in 2026? The real question is, can you live by a standard when no one is watching? If you can, you already know what to do next.